What is up, fellow nerds, and welcome to Not Your Status Quo. Tonight, we are talking about the Skeleton Crew, Episode 5. You have a lot to learn about pirates. But before we get into all of that fun, Dave, how's it going, sir?
Keith, I am fan-freaking-tastic. Doug will be joining us very shortly, so we'll have a third party here to talk because I'm so incredibly boring. I need a color man for me. But Merry Christmas. I hope everybody had a good Christmas. I hope you had a good Christmas, Keith. And show everybody your shirt. That's an awesome shirt that he got for Christmas. Look at that vibrant colors there. And it's the new logo, which some people like and some people don't.
Yeah, cool people like it, not cool people don't.
Right, and on his planet, it means hope. So, whatever.
And on my planet or Superman's planet?
On Superman's planet,
Cool.
on this planet, it could also mean hope. I mean, we gotta do translations. We have to honor that. It's not an S. It's hope. But we had the episode on Christmas Eve for the Skeleton Crew. And I watched it, and well, so did you. And we'll be able to get deeper into it.
So did Doug.
And so did Doug, pointing out the obvious.
It's
been a weird week. It's been a weird week because of Christmas, but I hope we still get a good crowd tonight, and we can all discuss it. So, Keith, without further ado, how are you doing?
Dave, I am tremendous. Great Christmas week. Like I said, got the shirt, got a few other presents. I notice you're sounding very clear tonight. Is there a reason for that? Is something going on?
Yes, sir. My daughter, she got me a brand new microphone. It even lights up. I'm
That is so
so
cool.
excited. I'm excited to use it. I hope it all sounds good all night. And I hope my internet doesn't go out so that you can't hear me.
Which daughter got it for you?
Jacqueline.
You're supposed to say my favorite.
Oh, I blew it. I'm sorry.
Well, that was nice of her. You sound good, so you'll have to thank her from the entire Not Your Status Quo team for that awesome Christmas present. Well,
I shall.
should we talk a little bit about this week's episode of Skeleton Crew?
Let's do it.
And it was entitled, You Have a Lot to Learn About Pirates. And I think they learned their lesson. But we're not going to jump to the end, because it does start out back on Atten. Can't say I know any Atten. And the parents are kind of figuring out, oh, what just happened?
What? You
We
still there?
just got... Oh, we just got a subscription from fellow nerd Doug. Thank you, fellow nerd Doug. We
Well, there we
appreciate it.
go.
He's been subscribed for 30 months, so we appreciate it there, fellow nerd, and keep on keeping on. But the parents back on Atten are figuring out that, hey, we're not going to get any help from our robot overlords. Oh, and Doug is ready to join. Doug, join anytime, sir. I am ready to transition over to us all. So as soon as you join, I can pop that over.
And there he is.
And there he is. Awesome.
Hey, Doug.
Well, howdy.
Love
Well,
the
before we
polka
go
dot
any
shirt.
further, let's ask Doug how he's doing. How are you doing, Doug?
Well, Dave, thank you for asking. I am outstanding. Man, it is so nice having all this time off. Granted, I do save it all up throughout the year. I really don't take too much time off throughout the year, and then I front load it all at the end of the year. Just take off an obscene amount of time that, I tell you what, and other companies that I've worked for in the past, I've never, you would have to literally request. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I can give you that time. I'm just like, yeah, I'm putting it on my calendar. You guys are gonna have to deal with it. And I'm feeling more and more like I'm embracing my inner millennial, especially like when I watch videos of TikTok of those guys saying, yeah, I'm gonna be off in these. Oh well, put in for the request. Oh no. I'm not requesting. I'm letting you know that I won't be here. You need to find a replacement.
Doug, the only problem with that plan is there is no replacement for you.
Oh, oh, but wait, I
That
received
is
this
true.
letter in the mail that you were replacing me for not your status quo with a
Well,
cardboard cutout.
we did get a blind albino monkey who's just going to hammer symbols together. But
And he had some deep thoughts about this episode, so we
I
were going to
bet.
put him on.
he was fired up to talk about
He ran away, though.
He won't get far. He can't see.
Oh man. Well, sorry for running so late. But
I got to tell you, I got to show you one
Craft?
more thing I got for Christmas.
Oh yeah, what?
Deadpool is holding my phone. Check it out.
Cool.
That is awesome. Hey Dave,
Isn't that awesome?
did you
Yeah.
did you perhaps connect a new technological gift?
Yeah, we were just going over that. I got this new microphone so people can hear me for once.
You sound great.
Not that they want to.
Oh, I want to.
I have these opinions that people are like, huh?
Go
But,
back to
yeah.
the old mic. Oh, we got some
So you're
comments on YouTube.
tremendous.
Go back to the old mic, Dave. Please. No, I kid. No one's saying that.
That's hurtful.
It was a joke, sir. Everyone loves hearing you.
But we can jump into the episode if you like.
What
Mr. Tatooine on your shirt there.
we
I
did,
recognize the two sons.
Mm-hmm.
we did just get started talking about the parents on Atin. Can't say I know
yeah.
no Atin. Yes, I have to say that every time. It's contractual at this point.
I have to tell you guys, I found something that you guys are going to love. I don't know if this was like on accident or if this was like intentional, but you know the robot company Boston Dynamics.
Yeah.
They are
Yes.
They're phasing out their one that they always show in the videos that they beat with hockey sticks and knock over, and it's definitely going to take over the world. They're replacing it with, and I kid you not, it is a 1-to-1 of the robots that we see on Atin, the security camera robots, identical.
Really?
So it's a
Scary.
plug for them on this show.
That's what I'm wondering. I've been waiting to tell you guys about that. I saw it and I'm like, no. And then I'm looking at them side by side. And I'm like, no.
Our robot overlords are taking over.
And it's weird. Like, I mean, first off, like, I literally just said, Boston Dynamics, this is a company that they make a bunch of robots, and they make a lot of, like, military-based robots, too. Like, hint, hint, secret, sorry, but, like, these are robots that they're sending into, like, war zones, too. But they're constantly, like, showing these videos of knocking them over and pushing them down, and then they literally create a security camera robot. That's gonna go over well.
But the thing is, the camera is not where you think it is. So when people put out the camera, they're still being recorded.
My eyes are down here. Oh,
Right. Oh. Eyes. Like there's two of them down there.
one's a little bit lower than the other.
Ooh.
But we do start out on Atin. I won't say that phrase again. But the parents are figuring out that their robot overlords are not going to help them find their kids, so they kind of start taking measures into their own hands. They're trying, Neil's dad comes up to Wim's dad and is like, you got to bring, crack the code and all this. I did think it was kind of funny. I'm like, oh, is someone actually going to get in trouble on this planet? But of course, Fern's mom is the one he's getting busted to, and she forget this incident and shut down. And then it gets off,
Yeah.
but at least it's good to see, because we've talked about it before. The parents have seemed extremely one-dimensional in everything we've seen so far.
Oh yeah.
So it's nice to see them getting a little more depth in this episode. It's not too late, but it does seem a little long in coming. So that was good to see. I'm happy that at least they're trying to do something to find their kids. Because as a dad, if my kid was missing and they were saying, really can't do anything, I would be taking matters into my own hands. So, it's good
You know
to
what
see
I'm
that going on.
legitimately surprised about is the way that what's his name's dad is acting. The one who, going back to what you were just saying, how one-dimensional they are. He seemed throughout the entire first episode like he did not care. Like, it's just like, oh, my son, yeah, God, forgot little humans need to eat. Here's some money.
Yep. Here's some old Republic
Yeah,
credits.
that's true.
Right. And now he's like suddenly acting like he cares. Where's my son? I need to find. And they're jump through all these hoops. I don't want to jump to because that's a little bit later on, but they're jumping through all these hoops trying to, find out information, figure out, where the kids are and all this stuff, break through the barrier. And it's like, oh, now you care?
Well, he cares because he's like, where's my change from Wim's lunch?
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
But the Ginger Fox clan is in the chat. Yo, good day. Always happy to have you on with us. Don't know if you've watched Skeleton Crew. We are talking about the 5th episode of season 1. And, we do get out, back off At-Atin. Can't say I know no At-Atin. We get the crew working on SM-33 after his failed attack last episode. They figure out, hey, let's just turn him on and, tell him not to attack us, which it does, And he reveals.
Hilarious that they tie him down and he could break out of it the whole time, but
How
he didn't.
pointless was that? I laughed so hard at that when that was because that was like my first thought. I'm seeing him tied down and like that's not gonna hold him.
Neil had him.
Right.
Neil was holding him down.
It reminds me of I don't remember which animated movie it was. It was a DC animated movie where I think it might have been. Oh, was it Injustice? It was where Batman was in prison and Superman just walked right through the walls and says, I can take you out of here right now if you want.
I think that was Injustice.
Yep.
But we do find out
This is
that
not a problem for me, folks.
the treasure is Tak Renad. And so this ship is the Onyx Cinder, which is from nothing else. This is a made-up character for Skeleton Crew, so we didn't get any, hint back to any Star Wars Legends book like we thought about with some Han Solo and Chewie books, but it was still kind of nice. At least they're building out some lore for all of these pirates, And, we find out that he has a hidden base where he has hidden the, star map or codes for At-Atin. Can't say I know no At-Atin. And so they decide to head there, which unfortunately is no longer a pirate stronghold, but a spa, if you will.
Specifically a no kids allowed type of spa.
Yes. I wasn't going to talk about that, but
extra for the happy ending, or maybe not. Maybe it's complimentary.
It's included.
It's included.
But
Rub and tug, folks.
Yeah, right.
All right.
But unfortunately for Crimson Jack / Jod, Pocket was there, who knew him from his bounty hunting days. Is there anything Jod has not done? He is the Howie from the Fall Guy. He's done every job. He's been everywhere. But obviously he screwed Pocket over, which I think we're starting to get a theme with Jod and all of his aliases. He doesn't play nice with others.
No.
But he's been so good with the kids, so he's going to break that trend, right?
Yeah. Not jumping to the end, right?
Not yet.
Perhaps. We always do. That's what we do here.
And Pocket decides
Is
to...
there some delay on my voice?
Probably. You've been
little
frozen
bit.
the whole time. Like, your video has been frozen, Dave.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I thought you knew.
Well, that's the best thing. I mean, you don't want to see me move.
But
No.
I hear you loud.
But you don't want to
and
see
clear.
me moving.
You sound phenomenal.
You
It's
move,
the new mic.
you move a little bit, and then you freeze again, and you move a little bit. But
I'm Max Headroom over here.
Pretty much.
you
sound better than Max Headroom.
Yeah. That was my Max Headroom impersonation for those of you playing the home game. But we do find out that
That's pretty good, man.
What were you saying, Dave?
I said it sounded pretty good.
Oh, thank you. The
Oh, so there is a delay because I said that like 10 seconds ago. All right, I'm going to unplug this mic and figure it out later. Nothing else I can do, man. That's the only thing that's holding me up.
But I wonder if it's not the new mic and whatever is going on with your interwebs tonight. Is he frozen to you too, Doug, most of the time?
Oh yeah, he has been. Yeah, no,
Okay.
it's you can see it on Zoom. You can see, but now he's moving fine. I wonder if it's a memory issue.
Oh yeah.
I wonder if it's it's too much new hardware and maybe his computer can't handle it because he just unplugged it and now he's moving normally.
That's probably it. I probably just need to figure it out. Because, I did just pull it out of the box right before we started.
Ah, okay.
Nobody,
Yeah, maybe you just need to download a driver or something.
Yep.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
But we do find out that Pocket calls Brutus to let him know, hey, your boy Crimson Jack is here. Or what was his name for? I forgot what she
Yeah, that's what I
called
was
him.
going to say. He's got 3 names now. I thought it started with a D.
Dirk Diggler?
No.
Okay.
I'm sure that's not it. Boogie Nights.
Yeah. Then he, took the guise of Professor whatever for the room. But,
Right? Yeah, that was hilarious and dumb.
Yeah, this episode was extremely Goonies-esque.
Yeah.
Just, and that's why I think I enjoyed it so much. This was
I-
just a delight for me, a complete delight to watch from start to finish. It was silly, it was goofy.
I love that they brought back the old favorite from Obi-Wan, kids in a trench coat.
But they did it so much better.
They did. That's the sad part. They did it. They did it so much better.
I forgot about that. The elders of Thing. They're not kids. They're elders. Oh, yes.
And they're goofing around like just being kids. Elders.
Yeah. That's really, really goofy. Yeah, you're right. Oh, I didn't know that was Nick Frost. SM33 is Nick Frost. I did not know that. I was looking up his other name, and it's not on here. So I don't know what they call him, man.
I meant to write it down, but it is not in my notes. So, darn it. But, then they decide that they have to find, SM33 lets them know, hey, you got to find Captain Renaud's symbol, and that's where, to get to a secret room or whatever. And they find it, they split up, and hijinks is going on everywhere. They're chasing Jod and the kids, and the other ones find this ginormous creature in one of the hot springs down below.
Spa.
Ends up helping them out in the long run, though. It's a nice thing. And they get down, and there's a huge thing of acid that, they have to get past. And, Brutus's forces are coming down on them. They got to get through, and it's like, give up, everything or whatever. And it's like,
Acid trap feel like a dumber Indiana Jones thing to you?
yes.
So the minute they said it's acid, I was just
It
like,
really felt like an Indiana Jones episode.
and like I could physically
It's like,
feel my eyes rolling.
Crystal Skull.
Yeah, exactly, Dave.
The Crystal Skull. Yeah.
It did.
It was like that's what I thought the whole episode. This is very Indiana Jones, and then he's smart enough to say, "Oh, yep, fill it back up with acid out there." Then if they're going to come down after us, beautiful, brilliant. The kids wouldn't have thought of that.
Dave, just so you know, you are freezing up again.
I don't know what to do.
Just sit and look pretty, sir.
Yeah.
But yeah, it kind of showed you who Jod was a little bit when he's like, hey, fill the room back up with acid. You just hear screams.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to know, does this mean we won't see Urkel with his sort of tech implant anymore for the rest of the series? Because I'm going to be...
Yeah, I'm thinking we're just going to see the implant on a skull. And then we'll just hear a slight echo. Did I do that?
Oh, dear God. I'm glad you don't write for Star Wars,
Doug. Just admit it. It would be the greatest thing you ever watched.
It would be funny, though, if during a scene he, like, blasted somebody, and then he looks at his buddy, did I do that?
Oh, why didn't they give him space suspenders?
They should have. You're not wrong.
Oh, man.
But then they're in the thing, and, he's telling them not to touch anything, and we get, we went up to that piece of roast beef or whatever it was, and the chair went down, which may play a role later. And then, obviously, once Crimson Jack finds out that the treasure of Ad-Adin is a mint that creates infinite credits, he challenges Fern for the captainhood.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, knowing the rules of the pirates a lot better than the kids, she's like, do something. I can't. He's challenged you. And he was nice enough not to murder her. He could have easily killed her. I think we're all aware. He's got the knife to her throat, and he's like, yield. Just yield. And she finally does.
Do you think he would have gone through with it?
Yes.
I don't think so. Not by anything that he's shown so far. I mean, I know he's kind of shady, but he wouldn't. I don't think he would murder a kid. I think he showed that by having the patience just to stand there and wait until she's submitted.
I think we're going to find out that he would have. For infinite credits, because this is the thing that he promised his old crew.
Mm-hmm.
On that initial sort of raid that they did on that ship, that there was going to be tons of credits. So this is him getting back his captaincy of the pirate gang, taking over for Brutus. So he wants it. Now, you might be right, Dave. He might not have killed the child, but man, I'm thinking he would do anything for that at this point because, he made a deal with them and maybe he would have stuck to it. We might not find out, of course, at the end of this episode, which the cliffhanger of this episode was just, in my opinion, great.
I mean, talk about cliffhangers. Like, for it to cut to black when it did, I was like, are you kidding me, show?
We see the kids sort of use the, let me get to live on Twitch with 2. Get ready for Dave to come back. But, the kids go down the chute to kind of escape from him, which is probably a smart thing. Kids making good decisions. Oh, and Sierra says, hey, you guys, I have Infinity Stones. Who is going to get it?
Huh.
But, and then Jod picks up that lightsaber and ignites it. I was like, oh my God.
Now, did you? I'm not sure if I missed it before all of this. Did you mention the quick scene where we saw the hut in the bath?
No, did not mention that.
I'm wondering if it is any relation to any of the other warlords on Tatooine, or are there just other non-crime family slug alien monsters?
I'm sure there's 9 non-crime family, huts, but I think this was one of them.
Probably. The fact that he was on a pleasure yacht island planet, yeah.
I wonder if someone was trying to say that his tattoo matched one of the twins from the Book of Boba Fett, but people dismantled that online pretty quick that it didn't match anything. So I don't know if it was anyone we've met before, but definitely could be played out later because they're still
Yeah.
on the pleasure planet, so they haven't escaped yet. So we're definitely going to see it in the next episode that I'll play out. And we only got 3 episodes left.
I know, crazy. You know, this has been kind of a fun ride. It's been a lot less of a slog to get through than, you know, shows like oh my god, now it's removed from my brain.
The Acolyte?
Thank you, The Acolyte. That was such a slog to get through. This is so much more fun. I know that it does get kind of dumb and kiddie at times, but I think that's kind of at the heart of Star Wars. And so I don't really fault it too much for that, because I kind of knew going in, as soon as they announced, you know, this is Skeleton Crew, it's a bunch of kids on a ship that they stole, and like, okay, it's going to be a kiddie adventure, sure, that's fine, yeah. That's what I knew going into this, is what I expected. So I don't fault it for that, it's just, but you know, it's way better. Story-wise, cliffhanger-wise, I actually want to know what's going to happen next. I am actually genuinely interested in, you know, when they leave off of the cliffhanger like that, I genuinely want to know what's going to happen next. I'm not just like, all right, well, 1 more down, 2 left to go.
Yeah, it's done a good job of weaving a good story. You know, each episode is kind of this, you know, they're not just, well, how do we find Ad-Aden? You know, it's like little stops and, oh, well, now we have to go here to find it. You know,
Yeah, and it's mysteries that I care about, that I want to see solved, not, oh, I wonder who the secret Sith is. It's that guy.
Yeah. We all knew it. And Brogu is on the chat on YouTube. Hello, everyone. Hello. Good to see you. Don't know if you saw the latest episode of Skeleton Crew. We are discussing it tonight. We'd love to hear your thoughts. But, I mean, you're right, Doug. You know, it's one of those things where, is it very kid-friendly? Yes. But when I'm watching it, the kid-friendly stuff isn't bothering me. It's not like the stuff from the Phantom Menace.
Most of the time, it's not bothering me.
Well, even when it's sort of, I'm sort of like, that's a little too kiddie. At least it's not the stuff we got in the Phantom Menace, which was so took away from the story, took away from everything that happened. You know, they are doing a kid-friendly show that isn't overly annoying for adults. It's got a good story. You know, the acting has been good. I'm interested in all the mysteries and stories. Characters are developing throughout all this. We're learning new things. We're seeing shortcomings. We're seeing, you know, the kids doubting themselves and all this stuff. So it's been a very entertaining show. I'm so pleased with it. I hope enough people are watching it. I hope it's doing well, because they thought some things out. This isn't just, you know, just trying to put out some show to hopefully get all the viewers. But there's been do I want to say animosity, or just some bad feeling towards Lucasfilm and the stuff that's coming out, that, you know, they're kind of, I think people are shunning it for that reason when they shouldn't. It's entertaining.
Yeah, it is.
Now, the question is, so now that Jod has that lightsaber, is he going to actually go after the kids? Does he think he needs the kids to get to Ad-Aden? Or is he, like, at this point, just going to be like, peace out, I'm just going to get to my ship with the lightsaber? Is he going to cut through Brutus's forces to kind of escape? Or will he, listen, find the kids, I made you guys a deal, I'm captain now, but I promised to get you home, and I'm going to do that. Of course, I'm going to steal the treasure once I'm there, but I did promise you I'd get you home. I think he will. You know, there'll be some animosity towards him from the kids, but he's like, listen, I'm taking you home because I said I would. You know, if a pirate's word doesn't mean anything, then.
And then on top of that, now, I agree with you. I think he will take them home, but do you think he's going to lock them up in the ship?
Yes.
Like, you know, the old proverbial throw them in the brig.
I do think 100% that'll happen. He's connecting to audio.
Dave, you look good.
Is it working this time?
Yeah, so far so
Oh
good.
yeah, you look smooth. You're not choppy.
Okay.
Did you reboot your router?
Yeah, I redid my router. I redid the PC, and hopefully everything's working fine now.
Did you
It
plug
looks-
in the
you
new
look
mic?
good.
No, I haven't plugged in the mic.
Okay. Yep, even Sierra on Twitch says pretty smooth.
Criminal.
But we were just talking, Dave. Do you think he's going to? I think Doug and I both think he's going to get the kids. He did promise to get them back to Ad-Adin. I do think he's going to get them, and probably a bit against their will, take them and get them back to their home planet one way or another. Of course.
Yes, I think he will. By the final episode, he will have them back. I don't think he'll do it. Well, how many episodes do we have left?
Three left.
Yeah, I think it won't happen until the last episode, and that's where all the climax is going to happen. And you know how he mentioned earlier on that this is a complete story? I think his story might end in that last episode.
I don't think you're wrong.
Maybe at the hands of one of the parents. You know?
Okay, I've got a crazy what's next theory then, based on what you just said there, Dave.
Okay.
So you think everything's going to kind of climax at the end. So I think what might potentially happen. So he's going to get to Ad-Adin. He's going to find, the secret hidden, treasure. He's going to find the mint where they're able to create the credits. But how much you want to bet in going in there, he's going to somehow get locked in? Like, we already know that there's a barrier around the planet. Nobody escapes the planet, except for those kids accidentally doing it. Otherwise, nobody does. What if there are even more safeguards around the mint, and if he goes in there, he's not coming out? So he's got endless, infinite supply of money that he can never spend, never use.
It's the whole monkey paw.
King
I
Midas.
wish for infinite credits.
Mm-hmm.
You got them. You can't spend them.
Can't use them.
Yeah, what are you going to do? You're going to eat them while you're in there? They ain't going to help you out.
Right?
Oh, and Brogu says Wim almost took out his feet with that lightsaber. That was pretty funny.
Oh, dude, that was hilarious. Like, the music is swelling, and we think we're going to have, like, this amazing hero moment, and he's getting ready to ignite the lightsaber, and then... I'm just like, he's gonna chop it off. Okay, great. Poor little kid's about to be castrated.
And Brogu asked, "Do you think the parents?"
Like, the whole time that they were, following his orders, or I don't know if they were orders, but he didn't say anything that was like illogical. Everything he was saying to do was like a logical next step. That's why like the kids were just like defiant to the end, and I was like, there's no reason for them to be defiant because everything he's saying is logical. And that I don't know, that was the thing about the kids that was kind of bothering me up until that last part where he took over when he became the captain. And he showed his true colors.
To tack on to that, and perhaps show his true colors, there is one scene that we forgot to mention. So on their way to the pleasure planet, do you remember the scene where Win was like all upset and he goes running off because it wasn't the adventure that he truly expected, not what he wanted? Who's the first person to go and find him, to go comfort him?
Jod.
It's Jod. Jod's sitting with him. He's explaining to him. He didn't have to do that. And so that's why I was wondering. I'm asking, like, does he actually care about these kids? What is his motive for wanting to challenge her to become captain? Like, what is his end game? Is he really going to take them back to the planet? And yeah, I think he will. I think he does deep down. I think he does care about the kids. He's shown that enough times, and I think there's a larger reason for him challenging her for the captaincy. Like, there's some other reason behind it, something that only he knows. Like, I have to do this. You guys don't know the rules of piracy, or maybe it's something to like keep them out of trouble. They'll know me as the pirate captain, not you.
I think that's very possible.
Right. If the pirates come, they have a lot to learn about pirates. If the pirates come and they think she's the captain, they're going to take her out.
Exactly.
But the thing too is, him going to comfort Wim is how a captain deals with his crew too. I mean, he wants to keep everybody happy and, tip top mental state. So I don't know if that was him caring about the kids as much as him just making sure his crew or the crew he's with is, going to perform when they need to. And Brogu did ask in the chat, says, do you think the parents will get a hold of a ship and meet them out somewhere?
No, I don't.
They're not going to leave the planet. They are way too Stepford wives to
That's good.
be able to get out there. They're too stuck in, what they're doing and stuff. I don't think they will, but I think once the kids get back, they're definitely going to, help them and protect them and realize that something is amiss on this planet. And I even though it's a whole story, I do feel like Ad-Aden is the barrier is going to be taken down somehow, some way, and it's going to be reintroduced to the Republic in some way.
Possibly. So, teeny tiny tangent time, but it does bleed back into this into this overall, the themes of the show and everything. So one thing that I've been wondering about in regards to, the kids leaving the planet, going on this adventure, kind of ties back into anime. So I don't know if you all remember me talking about there is a specific type of anime called isekai. And what that is usually somebody getting sent to another world. And it used to be like in the earlier days, whenever they would do these stories, if somebody was summoned to another world, not, reincarnated, if they were summoned, the entire goal of these people was to try and find their way back to their other world. But then I think these writers and animators, they started realizing, wait a minute, that doesn't really make sense. They come from a very, okay, wake up, go to school, go to work, whatever, and that's your entire life. Now they're running around and they're using magic and swords, and it's a huge adventure, and there's dragons, and it's like, how do you go back to a normal life after that? And how are these kids, so now I'm circling back to Skeleton Crew, how are these kids going to readjust to normal, well, as much as we want to call it that, I guess, life on Ad-Aden after encountering the things that they have, seeing the things that they have?
I don't think
that's probably one of the reasons they they never had a desire to leave the planet. They had to know there were other worlds out there. They wouldn't be able to deal with it because they don't have anyone who's been off the planet and come back and told them what it's like.
That's true. That is true.
When they come back, I think they're going to be very much wanting to get off planet again. They're going to realize there's a whole galaxy, especially Wim, who, loved his Jedi stories and stuff. He's going to realize there's a whole galaxy out there, and, what happens on Ad-Aden, where he can be an analyst. He can sit at the desks from Andor and do, analyst stuff. That he's not going to be satisfied at all with that. He will not be able to stay there. So if it is something, they get back and, they're back on the planet, the barrier's still up, Jod is trapped in the Mint, there could be another season of them, hey, we need to get off planet again. How do we leave? Do we get, the Crimson Onyx or, what the hell was the ship called again? Darn it. The Onyx Cinder. Do they get the Onyx Cinder and take off again? A lot of interesting possibilities because
I was thinking perhaps something like that, or maybe the end of the last episode is going to be, something happens, Jod is going to become a hero, the parents will thank him for saving the kids, and then they'll, send him on his way with a small amount of, paltry sum, nothing. Not as much as he would have had he, stolen everything out of the Mint, but it's going to be something, and he'll feel better having saved the day, saved the kids. But I think he's going to outreach his hand and be like, does anybody want to come with me? It's your last chance. You guys are getting ready to put the barrier back up. You're going to let me off. But, once I'm gone, that's it. And I think Wim is going to want to go with him. And I think his dad, who doesn't really care about him that much anyway, would probably let him go. Like, oh, sweet. Cool. One less mouth to feed.
Yeah. I don't know. After, he does seem like he's worried about him and everything, since he's been gone. He's willing to break the rules and do things he probably never would have done before because you know how, you've got to take this test. You got to pass it. You got to do this. This is, the great works. This is all how it is. He seems to be a little more willing to, break the rules, especially, when his kid is missing. So
That kid totally failed that test, by the way.
oh yeah, 100%. They're gonna come back and you're gonna be like, you've got sanitation. I definitely got to get on the planet. Oh my God, John, take me. Crimson Jack, I'll be your crew.
Oh wait, hold on. No, he failed the entire section about how to use a mop bucket. Oh.
I was gonna make a joke, but I'm not going to because this is a family show.
It's a family picture.
And Kevin Davis says Skeleton Crew is a pretty good series, 79 of 80. I don't know what that means exactly. Maybe 7.9 or 8 out of 10. Yeah, it's been solid. Hasn't been Andor level of great, but for all of its being kid friendly, it has been good.
I kind of feel like now, since you mentioned Andor, I kind of feel like this is almost anti-Andor.
It is. It really is almost the complete 180 from Andor.
Mm-hmm. Like every single time there's like the slightest kind of serious moment, immediately like, oh, fun kids,
Some silliness going
when's
on.
gonna chop his dick off?
More Thaniel.
More than you, thank you. I've been waiting for you to say something, man.
Well, I can never tell if I'm on or not. I'm watching this and I just look like Max Headroom. I'm so frustrated with this connection.
Oh.
Sorry, guys.
You're
It's-
smooth as melted butter right now.
It's not your fault. It's the interwebs. Yeah, and Kevin Davis says Lucasfilm releasing one live action show in 2025, which is Andor. It's a good thing.
Yes.
April
I'm
22nd.
so looking forward to that. It's gonna be amazing. I cannot tell you gentlemen how many times I've actually rewatched the Andor series because of how much I loved it.
They really did a fantastic job. That to me, Star Wars, as much as I loved it as a kid and stuff, I like things like Andor. I would rather it be more geared towards the person I am now instead of, kid friendly. I like it for my kid, plural, that they have this kids friendly stuff, but man, if they made more like Andor, I would not complain one bit.
Oh, I know, right?
There's just so much thought behind it. It has a plot that you have to think about and watch it develop. Unlike like the saying here, if they get a serious moment, they gotta what's that called when you bring it levity? When you gotta have a
there you
moment
go.
of
Yes.
levity. Yeah. So that's what puts Andor above all the other shows.
But one thing that is going for both of them, both of these shows are shot beautifully. I don't mind the volume to a point. Like, for what it's worth, it was decent with The Mandalorian, but wide open shots on an actual set, you can tell when they actually put time and effort into it.
Yeah, some of those scenes when they were pulling the heist in Andor, when they're just like walking down a path, it was like, wow, that's worth every moment you spent outdoors filming that, because it is fantastic.
Did you guys see that they announced at least the budget for Andor season 2?
No.
$290 million.
Needs more.
Which to me is like, I don't know if that's a good thing because so much money was put into the Acolyte and that sucked. To me, it doesn't matter how much you put into it. It's the story. I don't care about, putting millions of dollars of special effects into it. If you have a good story, tell the story.
But that's the thing. I trust the showrunners from Andor to tell a good story. And hopefully this money is just so they can make it the way they want it and not have to scale back scenes because they don't have the budget for it. I hope that it is everything we got from season 1 and more, because they realize, the reason Andor got renewed, from what we heard, even though they had already sort of committed to 2 seasons, was it got more viewers every week. Word of mouth was spreading, people were joining in, and it got more and more, minutes watched every week, which is almost the opposite of what happened with The Acolyte. And I haven't seen numbers on Skeleton Crew yet, so I'm hoping it's kind of the same because, the good quality shows need to be, watched and seen.
Look.
Where stuff like The Acolyte, they can just leave it be.
Thanks.
As long as a good chunk of that budget goes to Diego Luna and Stellan Skarsgård to keep giving those stellar performances, then you know what, whatever, do whatever you want with the rest of the budget. Make more bricks, but
Yeah, I was talking to my brother. He's a big Star Wars fan his whole life, and we were talking about what scene in Andor stood out to you more than all the other ones, and we agreed it was that moment where the guy said,
What did I
"What do you
sacrifice? Everything."
Yes.
everything.
That was the best scene. That was such a good scene.
I'm fighting for a sunrise that I will never see. It's like, oh, so good.
That scene ended, and I was just like,
I need a minute.
wow. I just
Yeah.
witnessed
Wait.
perfection. But Kevin
David, can you
Davis
plug your mic
says,
back in?
the what?
No, I didn't.
Oh, for some reason you sound good.
Well, I don't know if that's a compliment or not.
Well, like when you first unplugged it, it sounded off, and you sound good. So
I sound good now?
Yeah, you sounded
And
a little
I-
bit underwater when you first came on.
mm-hmm.
I appear to be in sync with what's going on online, so
Yeah.
I'm not going to touch anything else right now. I'm
Okay,
just
yeah,
going to let
you
it
look and
sit.
sound great.
Well, you sound great. But I kid.
Thanks.
You look great too. I'm joking. But Kevin Davis says, wouldn't be shocked or surprised if Disney renews Kathleen Kennedy's contract to stay as
boy,
president
no.
of Lucasfilm. Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau will continue to focus on projects for Disney Plus. I don't see that. Only because, there's something inherently wrong at Lucasfilm that they announce all of these projects, and it seems like none of them get off the ground. They can't make movies. It's just not what a studio should do.
Rogue Squadron that stumbled out of the gate, and it's still stumbling. I don't even know if they're gonna. I've heard it announced that they're getting back on track, and then I heard it's off. It's shelved again. It's inconsistency, and that's just an example. That's not the only project that's happened on. I think she's been very inconsistent. I've been just waiting for her to retire because I don't think she's done a good job at all.
She hasn't.
So I do want to just slightly. I don't want to like defend her, but I do want to mention something that never seems to really get mentioned when people want to look for somebody to blame when it comes to all the bad Star Wars. Is yes, she is the president of Lucasfilm, but she also doesn't seem to have the final say in what they put out. In fact, anytime that she's brought up, she's only ever brought up, at least in what I've seen, whenever something is doing bad. Nobody ever seems to bring her up any other time. I don't see what other... I barely see her talking about Star Wars, doing interviews about Star Wars. I see Dave Filoni, I see Jon Favreau, I see other people talking about Star Wars, and she's like this shadowy, cloaked figure somewhere in the background that it's like we need somebody to be this figurehead and act as president, but you don't get to do anything. And that's what I'm really, truly starting to wonder. How much power and control does she have over any of this?
Well, she was on The Mandalorian. After the first couple seasons, they would have like these roundtables and behind the scenes, and they would talk about the episodes, and she was on there talking about it.
Okay.
And, she does have power. And you're right. Something good comes out like Andor. Kathleen Kennedy doesn't get any credit for doing it, which she definitely should. But there's fewer and fewer quality projects coming out of Lucasfilm than what there honestly should be. They have so many people who've said they want to work in do a Star Wars movie, do anything, and they green light The Acolyte and get it made. When obviously the script wasn't where it should have been, and we got what we got. And there's probably other things out there. Now they did do right and turn down Zack Snyder, and we never got Rebel Moon, the Star Wars series. But it just seems like, we hear, Rogue Squadron's coming. We got the Daisy trilogy, the Rey trilogy coming up. We got Rian Johnson's trilogy, which never gets off the thing. We hear about all these projects and all these things going on, and they never get made. And that's not how a studio should work. And the buck stops at the president.
James Gunn.
Yeah. I don't know if you're speaking of James Gunn while we're in tangent time. Did you hear the Batman Part 2 has been delayed till 2027?
No, I didn't hear that.
I heard that the main villains were gonna be Clayface and I forget, Bane maybe? But that didn't seem...
That hasn't been confirmed by anybody.
Okay. Because that didn't seem in line with what they were trying to do with that universe. So I didn't appreciate that rumor. I was hoping it wasn't true. But now you're saying it's 2027. That kind of sucks.
I could see Bane more than I could see Clayface. If they're going to keep a grounded universe, I could see them coming up with a version of Bane where he really is just like inventing this like super steroid that is like screwing him up and making him this giant muscular monster. I could see that more in that world of the Batman rather than, a lot of his other supervillains.
See, I don't even see that. This has been so year one Batman that it's going to be crime families and maybe, someone like a Firefly or something along those lines where it'll
maybe like another villain who they don't think what they're doing is wrong.
Yeah.
Those are great villains.
Yeah.
As soon as you said Firefly, that's what got me thinking. And so now there's been a couple of stories where Firefly literally thought that they were like the hero of Gotham or whatever.
Grogu.
Let's see.
Grogu's comment.
Oh, God.
The power of one. The power of Kathleen Kennedy. Kathleen Kennedy has made money for Lucasfilm. She's also lost some money for Lucasfilm.
Yeah.
But for me, it's not about making money or not. I mean, The Force Awakens made $2 billion. And I honestly, they could have made a much better movie than that.
Yeah. Definitely that whole sequel trilogy, I think each one of them made $1 billion at least.
They did.
And it wasn't that those weren't good stories. They didn't have it all figured out. Which, if you're writing a trilogy, you should have things that happen in each movie, for the trilogy to work. Like Lord of the Rings was a great trilogy. They knew what they were going to do right from the start. Obviously, the original trilogy for Star Wars wasn't made before the success of the first movie. That's excusable. They really made it work. It wasn't horrible. It wasn't horrible storytelling. Just like what the sequel trilogy was. It was so disconnected. It was just not right.
They did a much better job on the prequel trilogy, which I didn't care much for, of having it all sort of play into each other. I didn't like Phantom Menace. I thought Attack of the Clones was terrible. But, all leading into Revenge of the Sith, as a trilogy, it worked. They obviously, the people making the first one agreed with the decisions from the second one, and vice versa, obviously because they same people. You didn't get that it seemed like they were fighting in the sequel trilogy to, I don't like what you did, so I'm going to change it. Oh, well, I'm going to change it back. Haha. And us as fans were the ones who truly lost because Rise of Skywalker was by far, in my opinion, the worst Star Wars movie we got.
Such a bad movie.
Absolutely. That was for you, Keith.
Thank you.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. That was it was a train wreck from start to finish. I mean, it was like exactly what you said, Keith. It was literally like they created an entire movie just to be a giant middle finger.
And nobody
like they didn't care about the story. They didn't care about how things were like going to play out. And here's the thing: even if you didn't like the decisions from the previous movie, there was still enough there to work with. I mean, you had Kylo right there. He was set up to be the perfect villain. I mean, you don't have to give everybody a redemption arc. And I know that I've made this rant before, but not every bad dude needs a redemption. And you did not need to bring Palpatine back. That was probably one of the dumbest mistakes ever.
That was weak. That was like, all right, he was a great villain. Let's bring him back, because they never developed a villain for this trilogy, so they didn't know what to do, and so they bring him back, and it's just like, I think everybody just had a collective eye roll at that point.
Yeah, and even if Snoke hadn't been killed off in the second movie, sorry, spoilers. Even if Snoke hadn't been killed off, like, he still was underdeveloped. He was still kind of a lame villain. Because we know how JJ likes his stupid mysteries.
Like you said, it would have been so much better if Kylo brought the Knights of Ren to heal, and they were like menacing the galaxy instead of
oh my gosh, that would be amazing. I'd love that story.
The guy who got killed at the end of Return of the Jedi, you know, saving, redeeming Darth Vader. Oh, he's alive again. Great job. Let's see. Kevin Davis says, even if James Gunn's Superman is a good film, that's not going to change anything for Warner Brothers DC. It'd bring more money into the coffers. So, you know, I'm hoping.
So I wasn't when I did bring up James Gunn before, I wasn't specifically talking about like whether Superman was going to be good or not. The reason why I brought that up is, for those of you out there that don't know, one of the things that James Gunn specifically said is they weren't going to do the whole Marvel thing where they show the timeline, this is going to come out in 2024 and 2025. They're not doing that. He said they will only greenlight a project once the script is completed and they're happy with it. That's when they're going to greenlight something. That's when they're going to make the announcement, this is coming out. Not before. That's what I was trying to bring up about James Gunn. And I think that that's what they need to, you know, continue doing with these projects, so we don't get issues like, you know, I wonder if Rogue Squadron's going to come out.
That'd be the way to go. And Brogu says, everyone is anticipating this new Superman movie. Because of that reason, everyone is going to go out and see the movie because of the sheer numbers. It's going to make a lot of money. I think that's very possible, but I mean, word of mouth will help too. If people start going that opening weekend, we've seen films where they do bonkers money opening weekend, but then everyone's like, the movie sucks. And the numbers just tank the next week. And, you know, if that's then, obviously I'm a pretty big Superman, you know, guy. I
love that. I didn't even notice that before. Very nice.
Oh, thank you. It was a Christmas present. But, you know, if it's a great movie, much like Andor gaining viewers, you know, it could have legs and, you know, make box office money way down the line. And then, obviously, they got the money to make other movies because, you know, they already said, much like Doug said, they did announce a few projects when he first took over, one of them being Batman the Brave and the Bold. That is now being delayed because they don't have a script. And so I think from now on, them not announcing anything or nothing's being greenlit till they have a script is the way to go. And you know what? Star Wars, Marvel, they can all do it. We don't need projects announced for the next 8 years. As cool as that was, seeing all the chart and starting to anticipate what's going to happen, I mean, stuff happens, things change, and things don't get made. So, you know, we can see.
I don't know if you guys saw this. I saw that the Spider-Man 4 has been delayed. They're having problems with that script.
Wouldn't be a bit surprised.
I don't know if you guys saw that.
I guarantee that Sony is trying to pull another multiverse thing, and
well, originally, I don't think it's been delayed yet, but I think it getting delayed is inevitable because I think it was Daniel RPK was talking about it today. They were originally trying to do a Sinister Six film.
Of course they were
a multiversal Sinister Six, but the script wasn't good.
And Dave just like,
when I kept seeing all the characters that they were going to include in this movie, I'm like, how are they going to do that? There's no way they're going to be able to do that and keep it grounded and have it a good movie. They're not going to be able to do this.
So obviously they're saying they're rewriting, they're going to change some things. Hopefully this means Daredevil, Kingpin, and Devil's Reign, something along those lines. But, we'll see. Sony just has to meddle, and everything is, hey, we need it to be bigger and better than the last movie, so we need to have more Spider-Man, more villains. And it isn't the case. Just make a good movie, and you'll do fine. And Alex Apple says hello. What's up, Alex? Happy to have you on here today. It was good seeing you. Glad you're in town. That's my nephew.
Yeah.
He makes great videos. If any of you are not subscribed to Alex Apple on YouTube and or TikTok, you should do it now because he makes great videos and he's a great kid. So.
Well, TikTok for as long as it's around anyway, right?
And Alex says, the dude in blue is weird. They all know that, Alex. You're preaching to the choir. And it's my Superman shirt. Come on, Alex. But yeah, just keep making good movies. It doesn't have to top the last one. It doesn't have to have more villains or more craziness going on. It just needs to be. I mean, everyone thought at the end of No Way Home, when you see Spider-Man in that classic Spider-Man outfit just web-slinging through like the snow around Christmas, it's like we are going to get a Spider-Man film for the next one. It's not going to be, they've almost had to deconstruct Spider-Man through these movies because they got him so late in the MCU. It's like, okay, he can't just have a movie where he's, fighting one of his villains. We have to have it, building up to him being an Endgame and, Infinity War and everything else. And I thought for sure they could get it out soon enough. It wouldn't have to be all multiversal. And, we could get a nice Spider-Man Daredevil movie or something like that, then have another one come out.
That's another thing that I think, kind of going back to similar topic that I was talking about with Wim, going back to Ed Atten. It is going to be interesting to try to watch Peter reintegrate to normal, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man after having literally been on another planet and fought aliens. And then been in a giant, multiverse thing.
And Alex said that was Tess who said the guy in blue was weird. So, Tess, you're grounded. And can you join? You want to join the stream, Alex? I'm afraid to send it because he's with his brother, sister, and my daughter. All mayhem would break loose.
Lord of the Rings. You remember Lord of the Rings when they came back from the battle and they were all just like, how do we go, just go on with our boring, mundane lives? That's what it's like for Peter Parker. Yeah. I'm sure that's how that movie will start. And then Kingpin will do something, and then all of a sudden he'll meet back up with Daredevil, and we'll get into that, and we'll forget all about being bored at home.
Mm-hmm. Oh, how funny would it be, Dave, if he's talking to other people about all the nonsense that just happened in New York, and oh man, yeah, it's been real crazy ever since the Statue of Liberty, it's been delaying boats. Yeah, that's real crazy. Also, I punched an alien in the face too. But your thing is crazy too.
But yeah, your thing's cool too. I'm sorry.
Right. All right, gotta go.
I've been to another planet.
You're right.
No, sir.
I was reading Kevin Davis. Says Sony Pictures has made good IP films. Spider-Man, Venom, Jumanji, Bad Boys, Men in Black.
Well,
I was never too crazy about the Bad Boys series myself.
Good is an interesting choice of words. Sometimes, yeah.
Venom was okay. I mean, the first one was. And then it just kind of fell off there.
Yeah, I struggled even with the first Venom. It was fine, but it had a couple of good comedic moments, but I think I would have enjoyed it more if I didn't know anything about the character. I think then I would have enjoyed the movie. But, coming from a comic book Spider-Man fan background, it was very difficult to enjoy Venom. And then Venom 2 was bad. I barely remember that movie. And Venom 3 was even worse. In fact, we specifically said in our At the Theater review, don't waste your money. Don't go see it.
Don't see it.
And as Keith put it, Sony can't keep getting away with this.
Yeah.
I think Keith was like physically hurt by that movie.
I was.
We have to hold them accountable. Yes.
Right. Yeah.
But I also read that they were supposed to be a symbiote in this next Spider-Man movie, which made me nervous.
Huh.
Well, there was a interview with, oh my God, I can't remember his name, from the guy who played Noel, Andy Serkis.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, they came to him and said, this character is going to be in multiple films, and it's going to be all this. And that led a lot of people to assume that Spider-Man 4 was going to carry on with the, Venom The Last Dance storyline, which I hope not.
Yeah, I hope not too.
We need Null, but nothing else.
Well, maybe, but like even the version of Null that they presented in Venom 3 was bad. It was so boring and a waste.
Yeah,
And barely even in it.
Yeah.
And Gabe is in the
he
chat.
was really
He
good
says-
at sitting in a chair.
Gabe is in the chat. He says hello. Gabe, hello. Good to hear from you, young man. Glad you're enjoying the stream. I hope you're enjoying the stream. Another nephew. So we got
We got this Christmas nephews.
You got the whole skeleton crew joining.
That's right, the whole skeleton crew. Getting back to what we're talking about tonight. Wonderful segue, Doug. We got off track there, but we are finishing up with this fine episode of Skeleton Crew. Should we rate this episode now?
I mean, since we stopped on it about 20 minutes
Yeah, you know what? Dave, you want to go ahead and start us off?
No, weren't we supposed to go in reverse?
Sure. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh.
Keith, you go first.
Okay.
All right, fine. So I enjoyed this episode. I did. There was a couple of eye roll parts. Like I said, the whole. Go ahead and get ready to put your finger on the button there, Keith. The whole vat of acid thing, that was kind of dumb. And I truly thought that it's like there's just the kids jumping around. Like I know that I've said this in our previous things, but the kids are just being kids. Doug, you need to get over it. They're going to be annoying. They're going to jump around and act like idiots. But oh my gosh, them jumping on the bed, and I'm just like, I'm not even a parent, and I'm sitting here thinking, oh, somebody needs to tell these kids, okay, sit down. It's quiet time. Here we go. Are you overstimulated? No, we're not going to go to the buffet right now because you're going to run right for the desserts, and you need to calm it down a notch before we do anything. I'm sitting here. I am parenting the damn Skeleton Crew kids while watching this show. But other than the couple of annoying kid moments that we had, and like I said, the acid thing, that was so dumb. It's like, okay, whatever. Other than that, I did have a lot of fun, and I actually enjoyed. The more that we learn about Jon, the more he gives us little moments where it's like, yeah, I can tell that he had some Jedi training. When he told Wim to just let go of your feelings and let go of your attachments. I'm like, oh yeah, he totally went to Jedi preschool. He somehow, yeah, I don't. He clearly didn't make it through everything, because he's a pirate. But he definitely got the basics. He went to how to be a Jedi 101 clearly because he knows some of the things. He's able to use the Force to an extent better than Osha was able to.
Might I just add something? Maybe he was in training during Order 66. The pearls clutching Batman moment we see in every Star Wars thing. He will have been a Padawan during Order 66, so he went off to become a pirate after getting minimal training.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but oh man, that the thing that kind of really tips this episode into, favorable territory for me was, seriously, as angry as it made me because it ended, that the way just the episode, the way it ended, the way it cut to black, such a good cliffhanger, such an amazing cliffhanger, because that's the kind of thing that says, hey, this is a TV show, we've got you hooked, and now you gotta wait till next week. And oh, I don't want to. I don't want to wait till next week. I want to see what's going to happen next now. And it's been a while. Penguin is literally the last time. It's been a while since I've had a show make me say, "Is it next week yet?" Because for all of its annoyances, I am still enjoying this show. So, I am very happy to give this an 8.5 out of 10.
Excellent. We do have in the chat, Gabe gave it a 10 out of 10. Excellent.
Twice.
Yeah, twice, yes.
I
You're right.
think he's rating the stream, not the show.
Oh, what do you rate the stream? 10 out of 10. Well, he said earlier 10 out of 10, I think, on Skeleton. But thank you, Gabe.
Okay.
You obviously have excellent taste in streams. We appreciate it. And then very concerned people going to wait to see Pixar Elio on Disney Plus. Gabe and Alex agree. How do you rate the stream? Yeah. Now, for me, for this episode, I enjoyed it. I thought it was delightful. I had, hearkening back to seeing the Goonies for the first time. It was silly. It had, it was definitely a kid-friendly episode. Had just wonderful things. But I didn't find myself looking at my phone or being distracted.
Yeah.
I was interested in what was going on. Because despite it being kid-friendly, it wasn't eye-rolling kid-friendly for the most part. Acid notwithstanding. That was, I was like, they could have done a lot of other things in that. And the mystery to solve it. Oh, we just got to throw our money in and it goes away. I was like,
My inner Morty, really? A vat of acid? Do you have dementia?
very much so. But everything else, I really enjoyed. All the things, that giant alien that was helping them down while he was in the bath. Not every alien that looks weird that you meet is going to be bad. And they kind of split off into groups, which is classic Star Wars. You guys go this way, we'll go this way, and things will ensue. We found more out about Jod. The running thing with this show seems to be we find a new nickname for Jod, and someone that tells the kids, don't trust this guy every episode, which we know is going to turn in, he's going to save them somehow. And see, you could trust me all along. Don't trust all those other weirdos. So, and then finding out at the end, Jod basically saying, I'm going to challenge her for the captaincy. I'm taking this over. And makes her yield. The kids escape, and he picks up that lightsaber. And then the credits roll. And I was like you, Doug. I was like, man, I wish we had next week's episode right now.
Right.
And that happens very infrequently. Most of the time, I'm like, cool, I can't wait to talk about it. Or, wow, there's some things I wonder what's going to happen next. But I was just like, oh, man, they know what they're doing. They have a good tease. And for those reasons, I am going to give it an 8.5 out of 10 also, just like Doug.
All right, guys, you ready for the Black Cloud? I am.
That's why we saved it for last.
I am not as enamored with the show as you guys are. It's just, the kids to me are so annoying, and they just get more and more annoying. If I could skip scenes with them doing their annoying stuff, like walking around like wizards from Lord of the Ring.
Do like if a little skip kids button popped up?
Yes, I would do that, because I think the Jude Law part of the show is fantastic. The SM-33 is great. All the conflict outside the kids, I love it. Like when the kids act like normal people, I don't mind them. But when I feel like they're just being unreasonable just to be unreasonable, I don't like it. And what you just mentioned, something that I can't remember, dang it, but I'm not enjoying it. I wouldn't even say that I'd say it's going downhill for me, as a matter of fact. So I don't know what I rated it last week, but when you get to the end and he picks up the lightsaber, and he looks at it, and it goes to blank. I don't care that I have to wait a week that it came up. I'm not going like, oh my god, I gotta see this like I was with the Penguin. So I'm gonna give it a 5 this week. I don't absolutely hate it, but it's not on the top of my list.
All right, that makes sense.
All right, hey,
Yeah, it
Sully,
is.
The chat is clamoring
The audience is
for an
clamoring.
appearance from Sully. Can you say hi
Okay.
to Alex and Gabe? Maybe Tessie too. I don't know who's all watching.
Is that
Oh, and look, Alex says, "Hey, Sully, yo." Okay.
Sully, are you watching Skeleton Crew?
Not yet.
Not yet.
We haven't
But
started it yet.
I am
want-
the one who farts everyone.
Oh,
Yeah.
Watch them all at once.
Skip kids.
Okay, thank you, our special guest Sully. Thank you for showing up. We appreciate it. With his
Thank you for the insight.
with his own rendition of Walter White's "I'm the One Who Knocks."
I am the one who knocks.
Oh, that's a good show for him. I think he
am
should watch
Walter
that.
White,
He loved it.
but
He
as
was, he was
I am Walter White, but as a kid.
All
Kid
right.
White.
Kid White. Okay, give me my thing back. No, dude, I need my earpiece. Sullivan,
I'm robbing you.
come on, buddy.
I'm robbing you.
Skip kids.
Thanks, buddy.
But I tell you what, I am looking forward to.
I'm the one who
our
farts
second-
again.
I'm looking forward to our second show to
Believe
review
in
on Sunday
farts.
night. That hasn't failed me
Believe
yet.
in the fart god.
Now, have you watched? To give a little preview, have you watched this week's Skeleton Crew yet? Or not Skeleton Crew? Creature Commandos?
Is it Dr. Phosphorus?
No,
No.
it is aired.
No. Okay. No, I haven't seen it yet. Obviously, you two have.
Mhm.
Hopefully, I'll get a chance to watch it tonight.
Hopefully before Sunday, yes.
Oh, I definitely watch it before Sunday.
Yeah, I ended up being able to watch it today, and it just does not disappoint. That show is just
Such a good
so
show.
well done. Now, on the other hand, I don't know if you caught up on What If.
I am. Ooh, what a show!
I mean, it's great, Dave. Make sure you watch it all, every
Yeah,
last
I
minute of it.
Well, the first episode really sucked. At least that's what I read. So,
Oh, I was gonna, first episode.
It was technically a show.
They had a plot and some characters, and it was not worth the 25 minutes or whatever it was I put in to watch it. Now, some of the other episodes have been better. Okay, nothing's been great. I mean, this season is making me think why are they making this show?
The only like ongoing thing, and I say ongoing with very heavy air quotes, the only ongoing thing that I've actually been interested in What If is what's going on with the Watcher. But they've only been doing that for the last 2 episodes. So it's like, if they would have carried that, if that would have been a thing, a constant throughout this season, I would have been more interested. But yeah, it's just not doing it for me.
And to me, the best What If comics were always like, what if Doom never gave the power cosmic back to the Silver Surfer? And then you see, it takes moments in comic history and says, if things went a little differently, this is what would happen. These are like
Legitimate questions
Hey,
that comic
we've
book
got-
nerds ask.
we've got Cowboy Kate Bishop and Shang-Chi against the Hood. And I'm like, okay, that's interesting, but
And-
it's not a small change from something that happened to
No.
see how it could have turned out. It's just, let's
It's
make
pure
a story.
nonsense.
Yeah. What if Howard the Duck and Kat Dennings' character got married and had a kid?
that
Good.
doesn't sound interesting.
It wasn't. The only good thing about that episode was Tom Hiddleston had a cameo, and it was just me like, almost looking up back at the TV because I heard his voice because I was so utterly bored by the episode. I'm like, oh, hey, that's
I
Tom
was
Hiddleston.
horrified and then bored.
Yeah.
Does it have a new showrunner for season 3 or something? I don't understand.
No, it's the same people.
Yeah, it's called Chat GPT.
Yeah.
What if enter? Oh, sure, why not?
What if we're out of ideas? Oh, okay.
Oh, what if the convergence destroyed the Earth, and now the Vision's bad, and Mysterio is running everything? Huh? How did
Who
we get
asked
here?
that? How would that even happen? Mysterio
could've
was
been-
defeated before the convergence.
What could have been a really nice sort of multiversal story and stuff has turned into just like
A
character
hodgepodge of
stew.
nonsense.
Yeah,
Yeah, yes. There you go.
we're
What
gonna
was
have
that one episode last year with the Indian tribe?
with Kahare or whatever, the new character.
Oh yeah,
name.
where they discovered the one Infinity Stone, the Space Stone.
Yeah.
Have they, are they have any plans to bring her back for this
Nope.
season?
Not that
why did
they.
No,
If
because
she's,
that was an interesting story. We don't do that.
if she's coming back, she hasn't hit yet. There's only 2 episodes left, and like Doug said, they started hinting about the Watcher kind of interfering in the last 2 episodes, and that's probably going to play out in the last 2. But before that, it was just we're just having stuff going on and cool, I guess. But man, it has been an absolute. We've talked about it before. It feels like a job watching this show.
Yeah,
It's
really
not
does.
something I'm watching for fun.
no. I am glad that we agreed to just kind of do them all in one go, though. So like once all the episodes have aired, we can just like if we like just rapid fire through them. I think that's episode 1, episode 2,
Better.
Whatever.
I still think episode 3, which is the one with the Red Guardian and Bucky, was the best one.
yes, that one was the best one,
It
That
actually
one
had a
was pretty
moment
good.
from the MCU that
and it was funny.
branched off from. Yes. Honestly, David Harbour voicing the Red Guardian in this and then doing the voice of Eric Frankenstein in Creature Commandos has been my favorite. He is so freaking good in Creature Commandos. Oh my God. Him and Rick Flag Sr.'s conversations are just phenomenal. I only have one complaint about this week's episode that we'll talk about on Sunday too.
Well, what is it?
We'll talk about it on Sunday.
Give us a preview. Give us a preview, man.
They gave away a character that appears in this episode, and it made it easy to know he was showing up when he did. Like it wasn't a surprise because you realize that someone's not who they say they are, and I'm like, oh yeah, we saw Clayface in a preview, so that's who it is. But once he's there, it's still pretty good. I mean, great episode. I just thought if they would have kept him out of trailers and stuff, it would have made this episode. It would have been a huge surprise seeing him instead of going, "Oh, hey, we're about to get Clayface."
Well, you've got James Gunn's ear, so you should let him know
That's true.
for future reference.
I will get on Threads and hit him up later. Well, he is. Now that Creature Commandos has been renewed for season 2.
Which awesome.
Yes. Probably, send him some notes on what I think should happen, and hopefully, we'll see it.
Now, is James Gunn going to write season 2?
He
Or
hasn't
is he going to hand
said.
that off to somebody else?
He has not said. I'm assuming he's going to, only based on he wrote the first season and he had a big part in it, and he probably has ideas already for season 2. It's funny because he's been on social media a lot this week saying, "Hey, I'm on, holiday basically, home with his wife and stuff." I would not be surprised if he bangs out at least a few episodes while he's on vacation, because he's probably, after writing the first season, probably had a good idea if there was a season 2 what it would be about. And he's probably, as things are developing behind the scenes at DC Studios, I'm going to add this and this so it can lead into something if they're going to do it. So Just my thoughts, though.
Yeah, he's a good writer.
You know, it's funny because people were kind of dogging on Matt Reeves when it was announced today that, you know, the script's not done for Batman Part 2 and it's getting delayed. You know, people are like, oh, well, how can he not have it done? I think people are just too used to James Gunn writing a season of Peacemaker in like 3 days.
Yeah.
Not realizing that it takes people a long time to make sure that things are good. And, you know, maybe there's changes going on. You know, we talked, I think last stream, a little bit about the rumor that James Gunn wants Robert Pattinson to be the DCU's Batman. And that could mean that maybe a little bit has to be changed in this next movie to handle that. So they, you know, it's big changes. We don't know the whole story yet. I'm just, once again, I would rather wait another year for a tremendous Batman movie than rush something out that isn't as high quality.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And, you know, I always have that, you know, theme from the first one that still lives rent-free in my head to listen to until it comes out. Plus, we got a season of The Penguin to bridge that gap, which was truly phenomenal.
That is, oh my gosh, I cannot believe such an amazing TV series was born out of that.
And
Yeah, it sucks we gotta wait 3 years to figure out what's gonna happen to him.
Mm-hmm.
But that's okay. We got plenty of stuff to, you know, bridge that gap, hopefully. Quality stuff, but it would be nice. You know, it would be nice if we got it sooner, but oh well. You know, we got some good things coming out next year. It's going to be a much busier year next year than it was this year.
Like I originally said until I heard that there was studio meddling involved, as long as they are taking their time to give us a quality product, give us a quality television show or movie or whatever, take your time. Do not overwork your crew. Like, do what you need to do to make it good. And the reason why I say, you know, until I heard about studio meddling, we said this back when we heard that there was going to be a delay for the second part of Into the Spider-Verse.
Third part.
And I was like, you know what? Take your time. Don't rush your animators. But then when I heard the reason why it's being delayed is because Sony, I was like, oh, well, that's gross.
Yeah.
Sony decided to do Sinister Six all in animation. All right.
This is Beyond the Spider-Verse. This doesn't continue the story from the other two movies. What is going on here?
We don't care.
It's the Sinister Six, you guys. It's great, right? No,
We've been wanting to do
that
this.
other story get done. No, you didn't. You wanted this. Good quality Sinister Six action.
Thank you for telling me what I want.
You're gonna love this. It's gonna be so great. We're basically the MCU, you guys. We're in the MCU.
Whenever it says in association with Marvel, people should just run from the theater.
Like,
Right.
But that's
Well, the
really,
name of the character, but nothing else.
it's funny because remember, Dakota Johnson, when she signed on to do Madam Web, she thought she was making a movie in the MCU.
I'm sure they told her that.
Yeah, oh, I'm sure they didn't just try to, no, this is the Sonyverse. She would have been like, I'm gonna back out now. And you'd heard Sydney Sweeney had said the only reason she did Madam Web was she could get that one movie. I can't remember what it's called now, but it was like the rom-com she made with that guy that everyone's all enamored with right now.
Okay.
I can't remember the name of the movie, but that she's like, I'll do that if you let me do this movie. And they were like, oh, yep, done and done. And then Madam Web tanked, and that other movie went on to make, you know, millions and millions and millions of dollars. Once again, showing that Sony execs don't know anything. They thought, we got her in Madam Web. we're rich. We'll give her some money to make that other one. And wow, that movie made a lot of money. We'll tell them what to do on the sequel to make even more.
Oh boy.
Well, all the C-level, executives at Sony, they're all 12 years old. I don't know if you knew that.
I
That
didn't,
does
and
make
I'm
a
not
lot more
surprised.
And then Dr. Octopus, he's gonna come in and a Rhino, he's got eczema. He's gonna come in.
With an effective treatment, he'll be fine.
He just needs a giant pack on his back, pumping medicine into him every second.
It's fine.
You know, it's funny because there's a fine line between what you can change in a character to make a good live action adaptation and what you can't. And having the Rhino with a giant pack to keep his condition under control was the worst decision that they could have made. For a movie that wasn't nearly as bad as we thought it was going to be, the Rhino was probably the worst part of all of it.
Yeah. Oh.
Just,
you know, that is saying a lot for these Sony movies. Not as bad as we thought it was going to be. And as long as you compare it to the rest of the other Sony movies, it's pretty okay. Or, Dave, what would you call it?
It's the okayest show ever.
honestly, if we're comparing it to other Sony movies, it's a freaking masterpiece. This is Citizen Kane.
Just put on the front of the DVD, Rosebud.
Not your status quo said, this is Citizen Kane. That's not my whole quote.
Oh, man.
You took it out of context.
And I'm sure that quote would get them a lot of view.
Right.
View. A lot of view. At least one.
A whole view. Oh,
Wow, that
man.
weirdo in the blue said it was good. I better watch. This is wretched. Why did he lie to me?
They're just going to clip
He's the
together.
Silver Linings guy.
Oh, Keith liked it? If Dave would have liked it, that would have said something. But Dave loved Morbius. Oh, that's right.
Morbius. What? And Craven.
Good stuff. Well, should we find someone to raid, gentlemen?
I think we should.
And for those of you on YouTube wondering what raiding is, it's something you do on Twitch, where you send all of your viewers to another content creator that you enjoy to kind of share the love. They can find somebody hopefully new that they enjoy and, just spread the love. Unfortunately, there is kind of a way to do it on YouTube, but we haven't quite wrinkled out all the details of that. So on YouTube, we're just going to be signing off here in a minute. We will be back Sunday night talking about Creature Commandos, which we gave you a little preview for a moment ago. So make sure you join us Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern EST. No, not a lot of people on. We do have Magic the Gathering Nerd Girl. Laura Loopsy's on. Tiny Valkyrie. Flake of Wrath. Spider Dude says he's playing Marvel Rivals.
I'm good with Tiny. She only has 6, so why not?
Yep, let's do Tiny. I like that.
We'll share some love. I can't wait for Sunday when we get to talk about Creature Commandos, because that was oh man, it was a good. This whole season has just been good. This whole season, as if I've seen another one. The series so far has been really good, and while I was kind of dismissive at first and I didn't think that it was going to go anywhere, it's been good. Can't wait to talk about it this Sunday with you all.
Some shows come stumbling out of the gate and limp back to the barn. This one, it's come charging out of the gate, so I've been really happy with it.
Yeah, they've done a great job. And look forward to talking with everybody on Sunday about it, so make sure you tune in. Watch episode 5. We only got 2 episodes left of Creature Commando, so watch episode 5 and be ready to talk about it with us. Have your ratings ready. Remember, on the Doug scale from 1 to 10, with 5 being average. And then we'll talk to you all Sunday night. Thanks everybody for coming out. We'll see you then.
Hey fellow nerds, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more of this stuff, make sure that you check out our Twitch stream. We try to do these live Sunday or Monday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Keep an eye on our social media to find out when you can join in live and chat with us during these live streams. Also, as usual, don't forget to check out our other social media. Add us at Twitter, comment down below, and we'll see you next time right here on Not Your Status Quo. Hey fellow nerds, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more of this stuff, make sure that you check out our Twitch stream. We try to do these live Sunday or Monday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Keep an eye on our social media to find out when you can join in live and chat with us during these live streams. Also, as usual, don't forget to check out our other social media. Add us at Twitter, comment down below, and we'll see you next time right here on Not Your Status Quo.